Hello, everyone. Today we're watching the World Baseball
We're hitting
Classic.
dingers.
So, we've done a little bit of football, we've done a little bit of football, and now we're gonna do a little bit of baseball.
We did a little bit of
True,
basketball,
true.
but that was more of leading into said
Right,
thing.
right,
Now we're
right.
actually
We
like
haven't.
watching the game now.
Yeah, we will be doing a little bit of March Madness. So all the sports. So whatever
All
sport you're into, we are like ESPN eight the Ocho. If it's almost a sport, we've got it.
mm-hmm.
So, Josh, we're playing our neighbors to the north, Canada. Uh, any thoughts on this game that we have to win? And look at that, it's a
Hey,
Tushka.
but Freddie Freeman
uh,
is Canadian. Now I did not know that.
I
Freddie
didn't know
Freeman
that Freddie
is
Freeman was
Canadian.
Canadian either.
He is
Uh,
Canadian. I saw him at first base. I was
yeah,
like, oh,
I was
that's
gonna ask
good to
Tushka
know.
who he thinks will win.
He doesn't know. He just came in shaking his head, not knowing a damn thing. You know more
uh,
about more the players right now in modern baseball than I do. I
Probably.
just because I keep up more with year round because football news is so rampant now, and much less
Yeah.
basketball, and those are my two sports. And so it goes football, uh, basketball, or like actually basketball. It's in my blood. But as far as collegiate sport, basketball is first, and then football all around. So I guess all around you can say that's like college and pros, and then baseball because I know more all around as far as historically, and then hockey is my kryptonite. I know hardly anything. I just know there's a lot of
All,
Russian,
all,
Polish,
all I
and
know
Canadians.
about hockey is that I miss the days of the 90s and early 2000s where you would go to a hockey game and then also get a full on boxing match in the middle of the game. They don't
Mhm.
allow that to happen anymore. And it's understandable why, but I still want it. Uh, but let's look at we are in Pool C, which is in Phoenix. So the US is not playing in Miami. Miami. uh, but they are playing in Phoenix. We are in a group with Canada, Colombia, Mexico, and Great Britain. We beat Great Britain. That's our only win so far. They just beat Colombia today. We cannot go to the bottom of this bracket by losing. So we have to beat our neighbors to the north. We have to beat Freddie Freeman.
I'm worried about our pitching staff. That's the reason. Is
Yeah.
we just
I did not watch the last game, but it says that they did went through pitchers like cray cray. Um, but yeah, we have Group A. All of them are 2 wins, 2 losses, but it says Cuba and Italy have advanced to the quarterfinals already. So go Cuba and
I
Italy.
just like Italy has the coffee machine. What was it? Help me out. The espresso machine in their
Yeah,
dugout,
I
and
mean,
then the one guy was
you
just
know
like got
what's
on
funny
base
is
and
that they
just did
should
this,
share
and I
that with the
was like,
Cubans because Cubans drink espresso too.
yeah.
And then Japan is the only one to win all 4 games. China losing all four. They had a thrashing earlier today, 22-2. Korea beat them. Like you do not see that score line in baseball at all.
Now inform our people when they finally watch this video because right now we have nobody else watching. But how does when does the World Baseball Classic happen? How many times? Like in or is this the first time it's happening? Like just kind of give us a little backstory,
Let's give a little history.
history.
So the World Baseball Classics is kind of like the World Cup for baseball. It started in 2006. It used to be only 16 teams. Now this year is the first year that there's 20. You have 4 groups. Basically, you pay just like at the World Cup, you play each team one time and then you go to the knockout range. Um, the US has always qualified, probably too because we are a host. And um, Japan has won the most. They they won the first two in '06 and '09. We won the last one, and Dominican Republic are the other winners. we can't, unlike the World Cup, it's not an every 4-year event. It's kind of been a whenever it can happen event.
Okay.
So it
Okay, because
happened
that was
in
like it's baseball. It's weird because it's not really a global sport, even though it is, and it could be easily a global
yeah.
sport, but it's more of a North American Caribbean
Yeah,
based
yeah, yeah.
sport.
Well, it's not North American. It is the Americas,
True,
Caribbean,
the
and
Americas.
East Asian sport. So we had '06, Japan was the winner. '09, Japan won. 2013, Dominican Republic won. We won in 2017. Then a good old thing called COVID happened. So
Never heard of it.
never heard of it. So this is the 2023 World Baseball Classics. There's going to be another one in 2026. So I don't know if they're going to go to it every 3 years. Who
Depends on how much
knows?
money this one makes, but the fact that they have
Right,
more countries, they're trying to get more eyeballs,
right, right.
and it just
And we,
depends. Let's see how capitalism works,
right.
and then we'll figure it out.
And we have a few first timers. This we got Great Britain have qualified for the first time to play. We have the Czech Republic has qualified
Oh,
for the
Czech
first time.
Republic.
Yeah, and
The other side of Russia.
sure. Not really, no.
Not really.
But Czech Republic is really like the underdogs of this year
Based on Great
because
Britain's jerseys, they're not, but
yeah,
yes.
because they are fielding a team that is completely full of semi-professionals. All
Mhm.
of them have a day job. One of them is even a firefighter, so he has to miss like one game every few weeks because he is off saving lives.
Oh
So,
wow. So it's like it's like if Miracle was to when they're gonna make a Miracle movie, it'd be if the Czech Republic beat the Team USA.
right. And what's funny about the European teams is a lot of the European teams kind of field a lot of Americans. So, like, for example, Israel is mostly all Jewish Americans playing for Team Israel.
Okay.
Cody Decker, Jen Sturger's husband, played for Team Israel.
Oh,
I don't think
I
he's playing.
forgot. I
He's
forgot
not
he hasn't
playing
fully
anymore.
retired yet. I forgot
No,
he
no,
hasn't fully retired.
I don't know if he's playing this year, but he
Okay.
has played for Israel in the past.
But
Um,
sidebar on the side question on that or follow up question.
yeah,
How now I know you have to go through a lot of like for Olympic wise, you have to go through a whole lot of citizenship shit to do it. With the World Baseball thing, I think they're much more lenient on things
yeah.
right now. So how does that work on them playing for an Israel or someone else because they're not quote unquote good enough to play for Team USA who but based
So
on the
basically, your qualifications for playing for a team, you either need to be a citizen of that country, or your parents were a citizen of that country, or I think there was even one, like, I haven't fully looked at all. I think they have it here. Let's go to the wiki. So the eligibility. A player is
there you go.
eligible to participate on a World Baseball Classic team if any one of the following criteria is met. The player is a citizen of the nation, the team that they represent. The player is qualified for citizenship or to hold a passport under the laws of a nation represented by a team, but has not been granted citizenship or been issued a passport. In this case, the player may be made eligible by WCI upon petition by a player of the team. The player is a permanent legal resident of the nation or territory the team represents. The player was born in the nation or territory the team represents. Because sometimes you're born in a nation, but you're not a citizen because, like, not every country is like the US that has birthright citizenship. The player has one parent who is, or if deceased was a citizen of the nation or team represent, or the player has one parent who was born in the nation or territory the team represents. So that's why Italy, I haven't looked at Italy's roster, but in the past, Italy had a lot of Italian Americans. Mike Piazza
I don't know
played
any of
for
them.
it.
I don't know any Italian. That's Italian Americans. It's not like I've never watched the Jersey Shore before. Who are
No, never. And then the Netherlands, which has been the team that's done the best out of Europe, is a lot of Dutch Caribbean. So they're Dutch by citizenship, but they were born and raised in the Caribbean. So
Yeah, I don't see how we lost 2 games with that lineup with Mookie, Mike
yeah,
Trout, Goldschmidt, who I had the best. I do know this. He had the best on base. I think he had best hitting percentage last year.
I love Mookie, even if he left the Red Sox, and it makes me sad that he plays for the Dodgers now.
You know what
But
state he's from?
I do.
It's my second home away from home. He's from Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, and I think he played for UT. He didn't go to Vandy, I believe,
No. Um
but he
what's his
got the bag.
So Mike Trout is up at bat. El Capitan.
Yeah, baseball salary, and then you're looking at like the way the NFL salaries are, and you realize that which union is better than the other. Because the NFL should be like the MLB, but because the MLB technically has more players.
Yeah. I
Technically,
mean, you can look right now because the World Baseball Classics is I think MLB now is the owners or whatever of it. They didn't used to be in the past, but I think for this year they are. And so you look on there and it's funny because you'll look at the countries, right? And they'll have the player's name and the picture of them for the team that they play for. But there's like you look at for Canada right now, like the person who's pitching has no team or picture because they don't play for Major League Baseball.
yeah. And then he also never even threw in the batter's box. He went literally 0-4 against
Yeah.
Mike Trout. He's like, I'm gonna
Uh,
act like I'm pitching to him, but
maybe
I'm not gonna pitch to him.
maybe it's this is Mike Trout. I'm just gonna walk him.
Wow, Paul Goldschmidt is having a terrible 286, and he was hitting like 320. Look up what Goldschmidt did at the end of last year. I swear he hit over 300.
Earlier today, just for fun, I was watching the top 10 baseball brawls because I love when their
I
dugouts
was at one
empty.
of them. I was live at one of them. It was a Cardinals Reds brawl where Cueto,
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Phillips came out because he talked crap. Because I went to a 2 game. It was like a two
Mm-hmm.
game series. I went to the first game. Was in outfield on the right side, and after they get done, after they get done like throwing the ball, they like toss it into the crowd. I caught that ball, so that was cool for the first game. And the second game, as we're going home because the Reds lost it, but they were decent. Like that year, they had Bronson Arroyo. They had Dusty
Yeah.
Baker as the manager. Like the Reds were good then.
I'm so
And
glad Dusty got his
I know I was so glad Dusty just like you talk about
he
an
deserved it.
honorary. You talk about an honorary World Series. That's an honorary World Series. So anyway, but so and Brandon Phillips, who is my favorite of the modern day players, even though he's not, but at the of that like from like the 2000s to like
Yo,
2012.
this bro cannot throw a strike at
No,
all.
Mitch Brett.
Brat.
Yeah, yeah,
Mitch
yeah,
Mitch Brat.
yeah. It's like, are you like? Did you like your parents wanted to be Chris Pratt, but then there's like, no, he's Mitch Bratt. Like he's like the evil twin or like some like
Do you think the catcher is going, hey, throw a strike, eh?
yeah, and it's like a multiverse where it's not Chris Pratt anymore, it's Mitch Bratt.
I mean, he doesn't even know to put the glove over his face when he's
Yeah.
talking. But I can say, just side note here, the Canadian uniforms way better than Great Britain.
Yeah. The only thing, the stripes don't go all the way down the pants.
Yeah, that's
So weird.
that's a little weird.
Okay,
But
maybe it's
anyways,
caught. Maybe.
your story.
So Cueto was the pitcher, but the next day. But Brandon Phillips went on a radio after the game for the first game and was
Mm-hmm.
talking shit about the Cardinals. And of course, the Cardinals and the Reds always have some type of rivalry. I mean,
Yeah.
they're interdivisional rivalries, rivals. And so me and my buddies, of course, we stayed in Cincinnati.
3 bases full on walks.
Oh, I know. In the first inning, yeah.
Mookie is about to hit, I think.
No, Mookie already hit.
No,
he was
Mookie already
lead
hit?
off. He was lead off.
Oh, he was lead off. Okay.
Yeah, he got the gap through first, second, and then he just walked the Goldschmidt.
I just heard the name Mookie in my head.
Yeah, Mookie's on third.
Yeah. Because I was looking at stats before, so I didn't actually see him hit. But I heard Mookie in my head, and I was like, "Oh, is he batting fourth? Because he's been batting lead."
No, right
for
now
the
you
past
got
2 games.
Goldschmidt on first,
Yeah.
Trout on second, Mookie on third.
Okay.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know.
Bring Mookie home.
Yeah, bring Mookie home.
Bring Mookie home.
But yeah, what's on for? I remember showing that sketch to. I'm still going to complete my story of one of the best brawls ever. But
do you think we're ADHD people? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. But no, I remember showing.
Hey, Nolan Arenado. He's Cuban.
But he's playing for America.
Well, he's Cuban American. He was born in the US.
Oh, is that fair? Oh, that's fair. That's fair as hell. That's a 2, at least 2. Oh yeah, there's Mike Trout. Okay. Well,
USA.
Yes, exactly. So I'll complete.
Not just for Jews, Dad.
We can hear about Agua later. So Brandon Phillips, who is, I believe he was a shortstop, but he's still one of the best. I don't know if you remember him. Mm-hmm. He was one of the best solid players for the Reds for a while. Like, he was my favorite. He's the reason I like that whole team, because I went and saw them so much because a bunch of my fraternity brothers. I was a Braves fan growing up.
Oh, okay.
And because my uncle lived in Atlanta. So I was in Atlanta when they won their first World Series.
Oh, nice.
And then I saw Greg Maddux.
My brother is a Braves fan because he was born in Atlanta.
My brother's still a big Braves fan. And of course, I
like the Braves.
I went and it's a big thing. I went to middle school with Adam Duvall.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was a cool dude, which sucks because he's such a cool. Like, I hate you because you're a good-looking dude and you're like a really good baseball player. But no, and so Duvall got a ring with San Francisco, but then he actually contributed with the last Atlanta World Series. That's a good RBI there. Who was that got the ribby? Who was that? Help me out, Soul.
Wait.
They just popped flat out, but got the ribby.
I didn't see it. I was
30?
looking something up.
Number 30, but I can't remember. Yeah, he brought Goldschmidt in Tucker.
Oh, is that Arenado?
No, Arenado. He was the one that got the double.
30 is Tucker.
Yeah, Arenado's on second. He stood second.
I was like, did he?
No. Arenado's staying second.
So the most famous person that went to my high school is Tony Kemp. I wanted to see who he's with now. He's with Oakland A's. He was part of the Astros team, the Cheetahs. He went to Vandy.
When I was at school, I guess the most famous person was athlete. He was a senior when I was a freshman. Now there's other people that went to my high school that are famous, like Nicole Scherzinger. Mm-hmm. She went to my high school, but
really,
she was a Y-Pass. Like, there's a performing arts magnet, but yeah, Nicole Scherzinger went to Manual High School, but I was never there when she was there.
The Canadian coach just looks like a frustrated Canadian man.
Time to go to Tony Hortons. Oh, that was a good swing too.
You are slightly ahead of me.
For once, I was ahead of Tushka like by a lot yesterday.
That's funny.
Normally he's way ahead of me.
But
anyway, long story short, Phillips gets up on his first at bat, and Alfred Molina. You remember not Alfred Molina, but Molina.
Yeah.
Not the actor.
Yeah.
But Molina was that his last name? The catcher for the Cardinals, Molina.
I think
he
so.
He was there forever. He tapped because when Brandon Phillips would always get up to bat, he'll just tap out of respect. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Tradition wise, he just tap the catcher on the shin or like around the heel, just like what's up. I don't know why this was his tradition. As soon as he tapped it, Molina just started just
going off.
They were just right at each other's face, and then now this is right. Brandon Phillips bats number like number 2, like he in rotation. This is very early in the game, and so they end up going up against and like all the teams come out. They end up going against the net, and then Cueto, who was a really good pitcher at the time, starts. They get pushed him up against the net, and he starts cleating, like he starts kicking, like up. Like Carpenter's out there, and you can look it up. Just go, Reds Cardinals brawl, and I was like, I was there. So I know it took us a lot longer to get to that conclusion, but look up Reds Cardinals brawl. That's the one I was at because that's the one that always pops up. I was at another Reds Cubs brawl when I saw the pitcher rush the mound and literally did a perfect spear.
Another walk.
Oh, Chris Pratt's
Canadian
multiverse person.
Yeah.
Mitch Bratt. That's so weird that his name is Mitch Bratt. That's Chris Pratt. How is it? Your family's from Puerto Rico, right? Oh, I always get it wrong. I'm sorry.
2 islands over. The biggest island in the Caribbean. Show people that Americans know their geography.
No.
It's 90 miles from Florida.
I'm between 2, so it makes you feel better. And I hope to God
say them out loud. Say it out
loud. Panama.
Panama's not in the Caribbean. It's part of Central America.
I figured it wasn't. Dominican.
Closer, but no.
Costa Rica.
No.
See,
it's Costa Rica, the biggest island in the Caribbean.
No, that's why I was like, what? I just said the first thing that came to mind.
And Dominican Republic is half of an island. It's half of the island of Hispaniola, so it's not the biggest island in the Caribbean because it's only half of an island.
Well, it's not Singapore.
No, that's in Asia.
I'm aware where Singapore is. That's why I said it's not Singapore.
Yeah. So what's the biggest island in the Caribbean, Josh?
Oh, gosh, damn it. Well.
That's 90 miles away from South Florida.
This sucks because I know this. I know this, and I am blanking so bad right now.
Most of the people in Miami and New Jersey,
Cuba?
That's the 2. Yes.
Oh. Because in my defense, it's hard to leave there. That's the only reason I was trying to picture that's why I was saying every other island, because it's so
100%. My boys in the World Baseball Classic is the United States of America, not Cuba.
Okay.
Well, for the main, there's a reason why they're playing in Thailand, because like there's the 4 groups. One group's playing in Japan, one group's playing in Taiwan. Sorry. One group's playing in Taiwan, one group is playing in Arizona, and another group's playing in Miami. And there's a reason why they never play in Miami is because Cuban Americans would get fucking pissed, because anything that big ups the country and its government like pisses off all the refugees in the US. So they don't want to be like, yeah, Cuba, let's go. There would be riots, literal riots.
Dan Le Batard enough. Which I'm like,
you don't get the Miami hour. His show actually goes for 3 hours in Miami, because there's 1 hour for just Miami radio.
I will say, when the president met with the leader of Cuba, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And I'm like, "I want to listen what Dan Levitard said," and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yep, that's exactly what I would think." Because everyone else is like, "Oh, it's so cool." I was like, "But you weren't a Cuban born. He is, and he's a very
Yeah.
mainstream Cuban born, especially his dad,
One
who we
one
all came to
thing,
love through his show."
yeah. One thing though with and being Cuban American is that yeah, you don't want to do anything that big ups or supports the Cuban regime, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of even like Afro Cubans had to kind of go out against Black Lives Matter because they were repeating stuff that the Cuban government was saying that it was because of the embargo is why the problems with but that was happening in Cuba with COVID, and it was just like the embargo does not have anything to do with medicine or humanitarian things, and so they're like you're repeating the rhetoric of the Cuban government, which hurts Black lives in Cuba. So Black Lives Matter and needs to matter everywhere, not just in the United States. Um, and But at the same time, too, with like the Cuban government and all of that stuff, is some of the stuff that Obama was doing with by opening things up was allowing for things to get better in Cuba. That the complete reversal of it was actually hurting Cuban citizens, which that's the main thing with Cuban Americans in the US is that fuck the government. Fuck the Cuban government, but support the Cuban people. And it's up to the Cuban people to decide what their fate is going to be. It's not up to us because we live in the United States. And a lot of times Cuban Americans here in the US forget that it's not up to us. It's what the Cuban people in Cuba want.
Yeah.
And they've shown that they want to be free because they actually like did protest, which to see actual protest in Cuba in a dictatorship,
It
that's
didn't
not
happen.
something you see every
It
day.
happened during Castro's there because they were too afraid to because
Yeah.
he did what he did.
Yeah. So for that, because of Miami politics and the Cuban American politics, it gets really tricky. And MLB goes they don't want to deal with that. So they do every World Baseball Classic there has been Miami always host
Hmm.
one of the groups. But there is a reason why Cuba is never in Miami and why Miami never has a semifinal really or a final because of the possibility of
The Cuban
Cuba
team.
playing. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not. I don't really think it's a fault of the players,
Yeah, it's
but
not.
unfortunately, you wearing what they all the trauma that has. Oh, get
Yeah.
out! Oh, dang it! Hit the fence.
I get
Go
all
home,
the
white guy.
just do it in the park home run.
He almost did. I don't know who
Yeah,
that.
third base. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So keep up. Once you catch up, let us know what just happened. So I'm going to the restroom.
Well, I just he got to third. Uh, anyone who can read lips, what did that Canadian pitcher just mouth there? It sounded kind of like, not sounded. It looked like he said "fuck me." You are on mute, Josh.
It wasn't good, eh?
It wasn't good, eh? Ooh, error right there. So I think this new Canadian pitcher that came in, which first inning, and you have to change your pitcher. Any French Canadians or French people watching? Fruer, is that how you say his last name? He for sure is French Canadian. And the fact that we're back to Mookie Betts, so we're back to the top of the lineup. There is a run rule in this. That's funny. So there's a 15-run rule. If you're up by 15 runs by the 5th inning, the game's over. If you're up by 10 runs in the 7th inning, the game's over. So there is a 10-run rule, which you really only see in kids baseball. How is that a strike? That's a ooh. I watched too many fight compilations that happen, as I was saying earlier, and most of them start by throwing a ball at someone who's playing and hitting them. Freeman there at first, like, he probably didn't mean to do that. Ooh. Now the question for if any Canadians are watching, is Freddie Freeman the only, major leaguer on Canada's team? Mike Trout. Mike Trout home run while Josh is in the bathroom. And it is now
I heard it,
9-0.
and I just now watched it. I was doing some other things, so while I was doing that, so, but yeah, this is the team
Hey,
that say we were
Trout
thinking.
hit a home run. I didn't finish the rest of the, but okay, Trout, and that is why he's El Capitan.
Yes, and also there is a mercy rule in certain games in the NCAA.
Oh,
Because you play so many games. So Louisville did it so this year. So that's the only reason I know Louisville did it. So there is a mercy rule. I know it's in softball for sure, NCAA, but this year was the first year that I saw this. So we might not be here very long.
Well, yeah, they were saying 15 runs by 5th inning, 10 runs up by 7th inning. So I actually want to look since Korea won 22-2. How many innings did they go? They only went 5.
Okay.
They scored 2 runs in the first, and then China scored 2 runs. So you're thinking, oh, even game, 2-2. And then Korea went 2 runs in the second, 8 runs in the third, 6 runs in the fourth, 4 runs in the fifth, and it's over. And because China was the home team, they had a chance to try to.
Oh, he hit a home run for his 13th
Hit a home
birthday.
run for my 13th birthday. Aw.
Oh, well, good for him. I was 13 about
So
3
if
years
you
ago.
were a betting man, how many
Yes.
innings are we going?
What'd you say? 5? You had to be up.
But you have to be up 15 to end the game in 5 innings. You have to be up 10 to end the games in
My
7
heart,
innings.
I'm hoping it's 5. In my head, I'm thinking all the teams that I favor are going to just choke for some dumb reason.
I would
I'd say we go
say
5 though.
it would be cool if we went, like, I would think it would be cool if we did a Korea and we did it in 5, but like be up by that many points that Korea was up to China, because we need that point difference to be able to get it's funny because like in soccer, when like you have ties, you go by goal differential.
Run differential.
Yeah, so this would be the run differential to break the tie.
I mean,
Except yeah,
we'll still get in, but it'd just be a
yeah,
better seat, is what you're saying.
right. Well, we'll still right now we are. If you look at where we are in, so which has Canada only played one match?
No.
Oh, so Canada is at the top right now because they have not lost a game yet, but they've only played one match and they're about to lose this game. So then they'll be Colombia is 1 win, 1 loss. Mexico is 1 win, 1 loss. USA is 1 win, 1 loss. But we, by run differential, is second to last, with Great Britain being the last because they're 1 win, 2 losses.
There's only the top 2 teams get out of the.
Only the top 2 teams go to the knockout round.
So we need.
So
we need
right
some
now, this would be the first time that we never make it to the knockout round if things stay the way they are. So we need to not only win, but we need to
destroy.
Win by a lot.
Okay.
Preferably.
Preferably.
And then maybe have.
That's not good.
What?
Gosh, our pitching staff is terrible.
Oh, well, Canada gets a home run. So we got 2 home runs in the first inning.
Literally off the first pitch. Like, really?
Bueno.
I blame our GM. I mean, he loaded us up with, at bats, but as the Yankees know, you can have a bunch of hitters, but if you don't have a good pitching staff, then you're screwed.
Defense wins championships.
It does.
In any sport. Like, yes, you need people to like get to home plate to win a game. You need people to hit well to win a game. In baseball, you need people to score and get in the back of the net to win games. In soccer, you need people to get in the back of the net to win games. In hockey, you need people to score more points. In basketball to win. But if you don't have good defense, you can score as much as you want. But if you let the other team score way more than you because your defense is shit, then you're losing.
It does happen where you're the better offensive team beat the better defensive team, but
yeah. But typically when that happens is because
that's why he gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. Yeah.
Mookie Betts. That's why he gets paid a lot of money.
Typically when that happens is because a team is good defensively, but they don't have any good finishers.
Yeah.
So the typically that's like, oh, we're a good defense team, but we suck at offense. Like, suck so hard, so then they just outscore in a way. Or you make that one error.
Oh, that was a strike. You better call that, you dumb. How many runs do we need to feel comfortable?
I don't know. Let me look at because unlike, and I'm saying this with, as a Cuban America, baseball is my favorite sport. I know I talk a lot about soccer on here, but baseball is my favorite sport. But when you look at standings with soccer, it gives you all the information. This does not give me shit.
Like
MLB.com.
For a little bit.
MLB.com. Yeah. Can you give me more information than win, loss, and weather? Okay, let's see can we go into the specific.
Tim Henderson has never played second base before.
Okay, let's look schedules. Let's see stats. We can go. Okay, stats is not going to help me. Let's see. Scores. Are you going to. Will that help me? Da-da-da. Be-de-de-de. Let's see. Oh. So Colombia beat Mexico by 1 point. We beat Great Britain by 4. Canada beat Great Britain by 10.
And
Mexico beat us by 6.
did we play Great Britain?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we
We
did?
beat them by 4.
Oh, God.
And actually, even though we beat Great Britain put up a good fight, which is weird.
Yeah.
We still won though. Yeah, so I don't know. Schedule.
I will point out they don't have a pitch clock in the.
Yes, because the World Baseball Classics plays the game correctly.
Not for you millennials out there who just like stuff quickly.
Right. Or what was it? Did you see in pregame? I don't know if you saw this. It was one of the Boston Red Sox games. Where so with the pitch clock, not only do you have the pitch clock, but it also counts for like the player that's in the box.
Oh no,
so
I
if
saw
you're
that.
if you're out of the box,
it can count as a strike.
It counts as a strike. So this guy got a third strike because he didn't get into the box in time to hit the ball, and the clock ran out. And to me, that ruins the game. Because I'm a big baseball fan, and like I said, baseball is my favorite sport, but I do not watch the sport anymore because of all the bullshit rules that literally they're wanting to make these rules to get more people to watch the game, but at the end of the day, they're making people who are fans of the game just stop watching.
Right.
So then it's not helping at all.
It's a double-edged sword with what they're
The
trying
only
to do.
person I know that loves the new rules is Sean Barreto, who is a baseball fan.
The only thing
He's the only one I know.
The only thing I do kind of am interested in is the extra innings with the runner on second, which I know I know you hate that. I think it's interesting. I didn't say I loved it. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because
and it's staying now. They were going to get rid of it, and it's staying now, which I hate.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's Major League Baseball because they want the game to go as far as it can for ratings wise, and it gets more eyes on the thing. But it's
the players like it too.
Players, so it's more of the players,
they and like
the managers and stuff because they don't want to waste their arms on their pitchers. So let's just get the game over, so I don't waste my arms on my pitchers.
Right.
So it's more that is more of the player. So if there's any rule that I know as a fan you probably don't like that I can get behind, it's that one because that's where the players are getting behind and the managers. It's because you're not wasting arms.
If that was the only rule change, I can live with that, especially because it's for the health of just like I said before, where I liked watching a hockey match where there would be a boxing match in the middle of the hockey game. They don't do that anymore because they don't want the players to get hurt, and because now with CT, like they don't want. And so to me, it's like as someone who enjoyed watching that because it was fun to watch, I could be like, okay, it's for the health of the players, so I understand and I can get behind it, even though I'm like, let them fight.
Well, it's the same thing with NFL. Like I love when the Sean Taylor hits of the world, like when he destroyed that punter. I'm like, oh yeah, it was great. Now, granted, he's not going to be. His brain is just done for the rest of his life, and he's never going to be the same again. But as a fan, loved it, and so it's just like, but it's where the like just because. I went through it. You should go through it. I'm like, well, just because you went through it, unfortunately, I'm sorry you did, but it doesn't make it right. Because unfortunately,
there's a reason why basketball is not as violent as it was in the 90s.
or the 80s. Well, the 80s was
Yeah.
coked up. But
Yeah.
the NBA was about to lose their whole damn league if it wasn't for Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And that is, go back and, for all of the 4 people that might be watching us, go back and watch a documentary about that. You
Yeah.
thought Jordan saved the game. Magic and Larry saved the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Because those guys were just happy to be there and just were coked up and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And
Well, we were talking, like, when people talk about Babe Ruth being the greatest, and we were like, back then they were smoking cigarettes in between innings, having a beer.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
they were not in shape.
No,
Just
they
like
were not in
athletes
shape.
now.
That doesn't get away, that doesn't take away from what Babe Ruth was
Yeah,
doing.
it doesn't at all. But
But that's
there's
why you
one.
don't. That's why O'Shea Otani is not to cut you off. But did he just hit him, or he just walk on?
No, walk.
Okay, but that's why O'Shea Otani is such an enigma now, because
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
because
Either
he's a
you
great
focus
hitter
on
and a
pitching
pitcher.
and you don't hit, because the designated hitter was not brought up in the Babe Ruth era.
Right.
I forget what year was it. Can you look that up? What year the designated hitter was brought into? I think it was 1960s. The designated hitter.
$1973. January 11th, 1973.
So that's a lot of years of baseball.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't a designated hitter. You started 9, you got 9.
Right.
That was your rotation.
Well, I mean, if you look at in the first few World Cups, your starting 11 was your starting 11. There was no subs.
Yeah, there was no subs. And they finally decided, okay, 2.
No, they said, okay, you get 1. They started with, you get only 1 sub. And now, and then it went to 3, and now with like COVID, and then they've kept it, is 5 subs plus a concussion sub. So you can get a potential 6th sub if someone has a concussion. But if you have a concussion sub, then the other team also gets an extra sub.
I didn't know that. When did they go in for this World Cup?
That started in just in soccer in general a few years ago. That you get a concussion sub, because like that's one thing about like with athletes, and you saw it first with the NFL, but each sport is really getting into the safety of the players and concussions and the possibility of concussions, and the fact that like, because like I saw, forget which game it was, but a goalie got fucking knocked the fuck out, right? And then he's like, I'm fine, and kept playing for a few more minutes after getting up and like some smelling salts. And then he goes and sits down, is like, I lied, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Smell it.
and they stopped the game. They stopped the play. Like the clock was still going, obviously, but like they stopped the play because he literally like just sits down. He's like, JK, I'm not good to go.
So is this Justin Anderson that's up?
Let's see. Well, I just learned now that Frewer is in the Braves minor league system, the pitcher for Canada.
This guy are up right now?
No, the guy pitching for Canada. Justin Anderson.
I thought it might have been Jared Anderson.
Justin Anderson is the professional basketball
That's what I say. Like when I tried to look it up, I was like, that's not right. It might be Jared
Anderson. MLB.
Because it's the first time he's playing second base, and it's in the World Baseball Classic. So,
is it? It looks like, I guess, Tim Anderson.
Maybe.
It's fun. He has, if it is Tim Anderson, he has a child named Paxton Anderson. And in the U.S., there's these 2 brothers that play for the U.S. In soccer with the last name Aronson. And one of them's named Paxton. So that's, see, he plays for the White Sox.
Oh, get there. Get in the gap. There you go.
You're getting it before me.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm okay with spoilers because I'll see it. 10-1 US.
So speaking about baseball,
Mm-hmm.
the one of arguably the best baseball movie ever made. Can you
Moneyball?
look up the year that Moneyball was nominated for Best Picture, since Oscars just happened last night, and tell me why
Believe.
that didn't win Best Picture? Now looking back at it,
So I believe Moneyball's 2011 or 2010.
the 20
Let
from
me
the
look. Let me look. 2011. 2011. Okay.
and just look at who they were up against. Just name me
Yeah.
the movies they were up that it was up against. Because everyone's always saying like everything up the movie that just won for 7 Oscars. They're gonna look back and be like, "Oh, that was a movie." I was like, "I don't think so," but I understand where I just want to kind of take that out of consideration.
Okay. 2012 Oscars.
Good triple. Good ribby.
Okay. So the winner was The Artist. And then you had The Descendants, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Never saw.
That movie's not good.
The Help.
It was good for what it was, but it's not good. Like, if you look back at it now, it's like, oh, the white woman's helping all the black women.
Martin Scorsese's Hugo.
That was a weird movie. Now,
Never saw
Sacha
it.
Baron Cohen was great in that movie, but the movie was weird in itself.
And then you have Midnight in Paris.
Well, I mean, at the time, Woody Allen was looked like a good guy.
Then you have The Tree of Life, which I've never seen.
Not good.
And then Steven Spielberg's War Horse.
That's pretty boring.
But yeah, The Artist won.
Well, that
was the year when I've never seen The Artist, and I was like, when The Artist won, I was like, what?
It was. I mean, like, it's a silent. It was the most artistic. It was the most artistic movie you'll ever see, because they're like, oh, you remember silent movies, and we can make a silent movie in this time.
Right. And the Oscars love that shit.
Oh yeah, they eat all me. They get a hard on for that shit all the time. But it doesn't. It's been like
They love movies about movies.
You love movies about movies, and then but you get a Aaron Sorkin script with a good director. And who directed Moneyball? It wasn't Fincher, was it? No, it wasn't Fincher.
Let me
see. It was shoot. Oh, I know this guy. One Michael Mann. Did they go yard again?
Bennett Miller.
Oh, that's a name I didn't know.
Another home run. Because I was looking that up. Who scored the home run?
Fury.
Fury does not play for the U.S. It is the pitcher of Canada.
Oh, sorry. He's on a pitch count of 34, by the way.
Turner.
Okay. It's Will Turner. I'll tell you about ghost stories, Mrs. Turner. You're in one.
Elizabeth Turner.
Elizabeth Turner. Why did you say Turner? I don't know.
Okay, no. The second you said the stripe doesn't go all the way down, I now cannot. If the stripe doesn't go away. Question for you. Do you like when baseball players wear their pants all the way down, or do you like when they roll them up to show the socks? Which do you prefer?
I'm used to the socks.
Yeah, I love the socks. I love when you roll up with the socks. Right.
I like the socks.
MLB players don't do it as much anymore.
Well,
and it makes me sad.
But I understand why the players do it. But as me, if I was playing when I was 12,
it's so much sexier.
I'm aware of why they
roll it up to roll it up is so much sexier.
I think it's stylized. Stylistically, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't look at it as a sexier way, but I understand why women like it.
I mean, that and then the booty, baseball booty is best booty.
Yeah, and for some reason of all the sports, the baseball booty for men is just something.
I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't know why baseball booty, cuz like you can understand why like soccer players have good legs,
Hmm.
or you can understand why like football players
Their
like have
shoulders,
strong arms and shoulders and backs are just
their
massive.
biceps, all the
Yeah.
steps, all the steps.
And
But for
maybe it's
some reason,
because
baseball's
baseball
booty.
players maybe it's because baseball players are allowed to be a little bit more out of shape than any other sport. They could eat a little bit more.
Well,
Although football too. Football can
they're
can
generally
grow.
squatting all the fucking time.
Well, like I
They're
can understand why a catcher is gonna have a great ass
no, but
because
the thing
they're
is, you think about it. Follow my logic here.
okay.
Even if you're in the field, you're squatting down
True. Yeah,
to
true,
ready for a
true.
play. So you're
True.
squatting a lot in baseball.
You
That was a
basically
good.
they're doing the workouts that women do at the gym.
Yeah, they're just doing it because they have to be in a ready stance.
Yeah. Do you think when they work out at the gym, do they work on their squats? Or are they more weight training?
Baseball players go to the gym.
Yes, they do.
All right, I just want to point. I just want to ask that question just to supplement for the fact that you thought who were the most out of shape looking players, uh, offensive linemen or baseball players? And I'm like, or who the heavier players, baseball players or offensive linemen? I'm like, offensive linemen because they have to be big. Baseball players are not that big. There's a
Yeah, but
there's one or two that are
look at Big Papi. He doesn't play anymore, but look at Big Papi. That man is massive.
he's an exception. Whereas you have to be 305, and then look at the Pouncey twins. Um, look
But
up.
like look at Canada's pitcher right now. He's a
Oh yeah,
gordito.
there's a reason when you play like the old NES games where there was a tall player that stretched across the screen. There was a little short fat player because baseball was you could be a
Look
plethora
at
of
look at
physiques.
how fat Babe Ruth was in those pictures.
Yeah.
He was smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, eating cheeseburgers.
Oh, have you ever heard of the Babe Ruth diet? Like you would die just listening to it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And it's just like with their diet and then also that they did not allow black players to play. No wonder like all these white players are legends.
I when it came to like Black History Month, I was always like looking into sports, obviously.
Yeah.
So I just like obviously looking back at it, I was like, I researched a lot about Jackie Robinson, but then I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I think I figured out Jackie Robinson's life. Who else? And then Satchel Paige was my second
Yeah.
one that I really
Because like
researched.
Jackie Robinson was not the best player in the Negro leagues, but he was the one that they were like, oh, he's not gonna start fights. Like Satchel Paige would have fucked someone up the
Yeah, but
second someone
he
said
was
the N
also the
word.
best pitcher that never was pitched in the MLB. Like to
Yeah.
me, Satchel Paige was.
He but if he would have made it the second one of those people said the N word, he would have fucked them up.
Mhm.
He had no chill.
Yeah, for some reason, Jackie just had that.
Yeah.
Um, he under he had that. I don't know what you would call it, but just understood that like it wasn't understanding, but
He did what a lot of times you see people of color or women have to do, where it's just like this shit is bullshit right now, but it's better for me to just stay quiet than to engage because I'm not going to get anything out of engaging and it's going to make things worse for me.
hey, Brennan.
So, hi, Brennan.
But yeah, no, Jackie, like, because we don't know, we weren't there, and
Yeah,
we're only told what we are told
right.
at this point. But to me, oh, yeah, okay, good. I thought we were about to get through. But with Jackie, he was like the one, like obviously the movie was what it was. I thought it was Disney-fied as hell.
Yeah,
Like
one hundred
I
percent.
didn't, I was like, that's not the true story. Like I've researched him enough. Like he fought his ass off.
I mean, Chadwick Boseman did a phenomenal
Oh no,
job, but yeah,
It's Chadwick Boseman. Like I knew he was.
yeah,
Unfortunately, he's passed. Obviously, we know what Chadwick Boseman's situation is, but I thought he's going to be what
but yeah. A lot, and then you had what's his name? The one that plays that coach that got
Alan
that
Tudyk.
yeah, Alan Tudyk. And the fact too, like Alan
You could
Tudyk
tell
talked.
like he did not want to do that, but he leaned into it. Like that's a good
Right,
actor. I'm
because
sorry.
Alan Tudyk is such a good actor, but he talked about he said that he legit cried like multiple times after doing that scene because he was like the hate that I had to like portray.
Did he say
And
that like Chadwick had to come up to him and be like,
it's
I'm
okay.
just asking, like just for I'm thinking like Chadwick just had to come up to me like I to make this movie what it needs to be.
No, no,
Or
no, yeah, no, no, that happened. Is that they went up to him and they were like, "It's okay, you're okay." Like,
they had to say the same thing, say the same thing to DiCaprio
yeah,
for Django, and oddly enough, that is my favorite Tarantino film because there's
yo,
such
and the
so
fact
good
too, like
acting.
he like actually hurt
Yeah,
his hand and kept
that helped a
acting.
lot. That he just kept. Now, granted, when they finally like Tarantino was like, "I'm not going to make you," but I think like they came up with that whole bit on the spot, but that wasn't his actual blood. Like I thought that was, but then with Carrie Hills or Wilson, like when he like strung his like hand across her face with his blood, like they were
Mhm.
like, "We're not gonna we're not gonna get any diseases going across here." He said,
Like
"But."
even Lynn here. Look at this picture, gordito.
Oh yeah, no,
I
Lynn's
mean,
Lynn's
I'm a gordita too, so no hate. But yeah, there's a pool.
definitely in Florida or
No, this is
Arizona.
Arizona.
Arizona. Oh, it's a good pitch there.
Yeah, no, the in Florida, it's in Miami at Marlins Park.
Hmm.
So U.S. 12, Canada.
Do we need more?
That
How many more runs we need to make it? We're good because we're looking like the fifth inning
we
right
are
now.
if we keep it what it is, after 5 innings, we're done.
I know that, but like, is that secure us for?
I don't know because in the standings it's not giving us a thingy bobber, so I don't know. What's funny though is like you look at like Group A, which Group A and Group B because they're in Taiwan and Tokyo, like they're already done and decided. Uh, you look at Pool A, everyone has 2 wins, 2 losses. There, and you look at Pool B, Japan won all 4 games, and then Australia is 3-1. So like you look at that and you're like, oh, everyone is like it's a, so it had to be run differentials for Pool A because everyone was 2 wins, 2 losses.
Hmm.
And I feel like so bad for Chinese Taipei because they're at the bottom there. It's because the country that's the bottom has to then they don't automatically qualify for the next one. So I believe it's like the top 4 of each group go to the next. Will be there for 2026 qualify, and the very bottom doesn't. So like Chinese Taipei and China, if they want to play in 2026, they have to requalify. Which you have the Americas, which is North, South America, and the Caribbean. You have Europe, you have Africa, you have Asia, and you have Oceania, which is why
Interesting.
like Australia is representative of Oceania. Chinese Taipei, China, Japan, Korea are representative of Asia. Netherlands, Italy, Great Britain, and Israel are represent Europe. There's no African teams, although South Africa did try. They did not win in qualifications. And
So you have
then
to qualify for it. Okay, that's
yeah,
different. I mean, obviously, like Dominican, Cuba, Puerto Rico,
yeah. So
America,
like, so you have Cuba, Panama,
Mexico.
yeah, Cuba, Panama, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, the US, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua are all representative of the Americas. So, what's funny is I actually was just like, okay, if I'm going to compare this to FIFA and soccer, right?
Mhm.
The US is basically the UEFA, not the US, the Americas Federation is basically UEFA, which is Europe in soccer.
Yeah,
So it has the best teams. They're the best at baseball, right?
allegedly,
Allegedly.
as far as the UEFA is
No,
concerned.
allegedly, but actually for
It's
real, for
true.
real. And then you have and then Asia is like CONMEBOL, which CONMEBOL is South America for FIFA. So Asia's like CONMEBOL because they have two teams that are just powerhouse. So like CONMEBOL, you have Brazil and Argentina that are powerhouses, and Brazil has won the most World Cups. So Japan and Korea are powerhouse, and Japan has won the most World Baseball Classics. And then Europe is basically CONCACAF, which CONCACAF is North America and the Caribbean. And that's where they're just starting to get a little bit better, but they're not there yet. But it's funny how like I'm like, actually, this is perfect comparison with when I was thinking about it in my head. That I was like, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
What's sad though is that the US isn't playing in Miami. I got we were gonna like we looked at tickets for World Baseball Classic and they are ridiculous. And it's like the teams that are playing in Miami were like, we don't care about Venezuela. Puerto Rico's good. Yeah, Dominican Republic's good. We don't care about Israel. We don't care about Nicaragua. Like, so we're like, why are we gonna pay this much money to watch like Israel, Nicaragua? Like, we don't care, right?
Mhm.
Because the US isn't in the group. So and the tickets are so much more expensive than they used to be. So like we went to the games and they were like reasonably priced. But again, that was also pre-COVID. That was 2017 was the last one. And the US typically, at least the last two times, has played in Miami. So we got to see the US play, and Puerto Rico was in the Miami group as well. So we got to see
I'll
them
get there.
play.
Ah, damn it. Sorry. I was watching
No,
and
no.
listening to you at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I
All
was
right.
like, ooh, can't cut that.
What were we saying? See it. I'm just joking. Complete your sentence. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, no, you're good, you're good. So it's just like, oh, because like the teams I'd be excited to watch, right? I'm looking at obviously the US, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. And then Great Britain just because it's funny and I want to watch them lose. Sorry, Bugs.
You're not a baseball country.
Hey, Boggs said that like growing up, that kids who would play baseball at the park would get made fun of, and it would typically be like kids that are either Caribbean or East Asian.
I mean, at this point, what is Great Britain good at? Because they're obviously not good at soccer anymore.
How are they good? Maybe that like error. That
That's an
trotting.
error. But
You know
he's
that
so slow. He is
yeah.
so slow.
That horse trotting that they do at the Olympics. Maybe Great Britain is good at that.
It just, I'm just saying
How
that,
are they, how's Great Britain at rowing?
are
Are
they a
they
crew? I don't know. Hi, Bulks, how are you a crew? Just tell me. I just want to know.
Oh, he definitely is not a rower.
Oh, yeah.
See, look at that. Like he falls on the ground, he's laying there, and he has a mound of a booty, like laying
Mhm.
down on his stomach.
They,
Like
they squat for a living.
best booties. Because like there's even like soccer players have the best legs, but there's some soccer players that like the legs are not great.
See,
Although there are some baseball players that the butt is not always there, but for the most part, the booty is.
I don't understand how. That's the
Ooh,
only person like
that was
that was
not good,
close.
Freuer.
No.
If he did not do the
All right, it's my hopefully it's my last break for the second. I'll be ready to talk Dead Radio. We'll be right back.
Canada likes to throw balls. Canada likes balls. I mean, talking about that offense defense stuff that we talked about earlier, uh I did not watch the game, but Canada and Great Britain, that was 18-8. So they probably were not doing so great defensively either to allow 8 runs. They just scored 18. So Great Britain just was worse defensively. I always love the like what they wear in the crowds when people wear eccentric outfits. See, this picture knows that you cover your mouth with the mitt so no one knows what you're saying. That wasn't even that fast too. He just let that strike go right down the middle.
Yeah. So I
Do
think
you have a
until
Marco's Pizza near you? Is that Marco's Pizza still in Franklin? Because there's no Marco's Pizza down here.
I don't know of.
It's oh my god, what's the name of that road that's in front of Centennial High School? Mallory? Yeah, Mallory.
Mallory Lane. Yeah.
Yeah, Mallory Lane. Uh across from
For my business,
Centennial.
for
Yeah.
Churchill mortgages.
But yeah,
Anybody wants to buy a house right now with these crazy rates.
right. Mallory Lane Centennial High School, where I went to in Franklin, Tennessee, which is now where Josh lives, ish,
Ish.
on the
It's
edge of
like
Franklin and
Nashville,
Brentwood.
Brentwood / Franklin. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, but so across the street there's a Sonic, and then when I was in high school, they opened up a Marco's Pizza, which I because that was the ad I had. I don't know what ad you had, but the ad I had was Marco's Pizza.
As a person who now watches like all streaming. I don't know any advertisements when it comes to
Yep.
local places. So unless I see it on Uber Eats, I don't know that exists or
And
some
you wouldn't go that far down on Mallory Lane either. So
yeah. I went to Bishop's. Great, like we went there.
mm-hmm.
All of it because a couple of our
Got a
people
meet in 3.
at the meeting three. They're solid. It's not. I mean, it's as good as Hattie B's can be, but it's not the experience that Hattie B's is.
Yeah.
But it was still. I mean, you enjoyed it, so
Yeah. I mean, I'm a South Florida girl, but I did high school in Tennessee and college in Kentucky, so I got a little bit of Southern
yeah.
in me. My formative years was in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I was who was I talking to today where I was just like, everyone does the Southern accent wrong it's a lot more subtle than you think. A lot of people, they just go right out with it and they just do it way too much. And there's a lot of different Southern accents too, and they just try to make it just one loud, sometimes squealy. It just don't work.
Yeah, it's like a British accent. Like there's
Right.
different versions of a Southern
Right.
accent.
Right.
It's like, is that British? Like, yeah, it's British, but it's not. It's like it depends on where you're at in
I was
Britain.
on I was watching a video today where it was like these 3 different Americans had to guess what these other where in America these people were from based on their accent. And one of them was from Georgia, and his clue they were like, "Okay, this is a Southern accent." And then they were like, "Where?" And they were like, "Give me a clue." And he said, "Less French, more British." So kind of like not Louisiana.
Not Louisiana. It's more French, less British is Louisiana.
Yeah, less French, more.
It's Cajun accent, and then you go to Memphis, and it's a Cajun Southern accent.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, I think I told you this before, but I'm gonna say it on for the
Yeah.
public. I had car trouble, so I had the tow truck. I could They tow me all the way back to Louisville at the time where I was living, so I had to get it fixed in Memphis. So the first place the tow truck took me to, I told him what was wrong with the car. The guy shook his head, goes, "We don't do it on here." And I was like,
We don't
"What?"
do that here. Yeah.
And I was like, and
We
I
don't do
understood
that.
what he said, but he shook his head no. So I knew he meant no. But he literally said, "We don't do it on here." Like he verbatim, that's what he said. And it's we do not do that here, but it's no, no, him.
I mean, you should understand that, Louisville.
Yeah, oh, I being a minor in broadcasting, I know it's Louisville, and that's wrong.
Louisville is wrong.
It's Louisville.
I would say
Louisville.
I would make it 2 syllables, Louisville. But I know I have some friends because obviously like who was in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and WKU. So you had people from Louisville at WKU, and they'll be like Louisville, and it's like make it like one syllable, Louisville,
Well,
Louisville.
the dude used to do the Late Show. Oh, Craig Ferguson,
Yeah.
Scottish guy. He was just like, you sneeze. That's how you have to say it. You have to sneeze.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Scottish guy understands how to pronounce the name.
I forget who it was that like the other day. Oh yeah, it was these 2 girls here in Miami that I'm friends with. That we were talking about something because my last name is French, and then there's a Cuban restaurant here called Versailles, and I was like, well, there's a Cuban restaurant called Versailles, and they're like, yeah, and then I was like, but in Kentucky it's Versailles. And they're like, no, it's not. And I was like, yep, Versailles, Kentucky. And then it was like, and then in Tennessee, you have Lafayette. Not Lafayette, Lafayette. And they'll tell you too, they'll be like, I live in Lafayette.
Yeah. There's a lot of French Cajun
Yeah.
stuff. What Purdue is Lafayette.
Yeah. But I mean that's like the Americanized pronunciation of is Lafayette.
And the only reason like Louisville is people pronounce it King Louisville is because it's based off of King Louis.
Yeah.
That's why they say Louisville. And I'm like, every time I hear Louisville, because I'm born and raised there, I'm like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like the people that are from New Orleans, like they're changing over. It's Nolans. It's like, okay.
But I will say I did pretty good on the. I don't understand how only one of the 3 people guessed Hawaii for that one girl, and then I guess the Georgia. I was like, he's either Georgia or Alabama, and then he said Georgia, and I was like, yes.
That video.
Because I was like, that's not an Atlanta accent. That's a Southern Georgia accent. I was like, that's like Savannah or Valdosta, but that's why I was just like, which is more like Alabama, which is why I was like, is Georgia or Alabama? Because then when you get in the north, the Atlanta accent is different. And
like to me, I got the Georgia accent from listening to UGK, their rap album. I'm like, because not Outkast. Outkast is from Atlanta. Yeah. They're very much Atlanta. But like you listen to Big Mike, you listen to UGK, that's an Atlanta accent.
Yeah.
Like those guys, like they, outside of here,
Ludacris.
Right, Ludacris. Like they're very. You can tell. Like
Mary J. Blige.
I can't do it, but if you want to do a Georgia, like an Atlanta accent, not a Georgia accent, because
I can only do it when I'm singing along to the songs.
Right. Bruh, like I've never like you just like the players anthem.
What was funny too is one of the guy was just like, I only know Black Georgia. I don't know Caucasian Georgia. Was what one of the guys.
Caucasian Georgia is just a Southern accent.
and then what was it? Oh, I got the Chicago guy because he had the old Chicago accent, which like people in Chicago don't have that accent really anymore.
I've met
Chicago. And then I definitely, because there was one guy and like he was trying to throw him off by wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. And so they were like, are you from Boston? And I was like, oh, he's from Rhode Island. And it ends up he was from Maine. I was like, yeah, they sound like that up there too.
Well, I guess like I just now realized it. Like the accents, it depends. Like, yes, there are each races do it.
Yeah.
But sometimes a race does define the accent of the place that they're from.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because like Boston
black people in Georgia. Black people in Georgia sound different than white people in Georgia.
And like that Memphis accent, that's all African American. Like because the guy that did that I told you, that's African American. Now the Cajun accent, that's everybody.
But the Boston accent is white people, 100%.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're all. It's an Irish.
You don't hear, and that's why their accent has, which is so funny. Side note that Kate Middleton, what was it, and Prince William, went to Boston to try to do their American like tour thing, and they went to the Celtics game and they got booed. And I was like, go to the most Irish,
right,
anti-England place in the United States as the royal family. Good choice.
I remember seeing TikTok of someone saying, I've never seen white people get oppressed, and then all the comments were like, have you ever looked up Ireland? And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, yeah. But it's white people oppressing white people, so understandable. But still,
that white on white crime.
That white on white crime is still documented.
I mean, most crime is white on white crime. You white people are crazy, Josh.
What? So, have you ever been to a meth lab?
A math lab.
A math lab. Well, a math lab does turn to a meth lab, and then a meth lab turns to an explosion if they do the math right.
No, I'm just laughing at when I was at WKU on the news. They were doing a story about a meth lab in Russellville, and they put math lab on the bottom third instead of meth lab.
Jeez.
I was like, that math lab.
I remember when I was on
Learn
campus, I
about
don't know if it was
fractions.
like
Oh
my
no.
sophomore or junior year, and we like heard of gunshots happening at PFT, and
Hey, I
for
live there.
yeah,
My
uh, and I got like
mom called it pretty fucking terrible. That was
right.
what she named the acronym.
So me and some other buddy were like, "This is bullshit." So we just like kind of walked out towards Pierce, the clock.
Yeah.
Uh,
Guthrie.
yeah, Guthrie, because we were in communication at the time
Hmm.
because I was still a minor in broadcasting. And we're like, we didn't see anything. We're like, all right, like we took like 3, 4, 5 steps. Like we didn't get all the way to Guthrie. We're like, all right, we didn't hear anything. We walked back, and then all of a sudden, we went to our class, and the place was locked down. Um, and like I'm on the internet, like in my class, and it got on CNN of like WKU's on like a lockdown for blah blah blah, and so I'm like, I guess I gotta call my parents to let them. And like, and like another professor like came in was like, shots were heard in over a PFT, but like turns out like it wasn't anything. Thankfully, at the time, thankfully, but at the time, like I'm just like, no, that's just how the there
I
wasn't any like
love our alma mater. I love our alma mater.
yeah,
Go Tops.
but like
However,
we made
go
it
ahead.
in. So like I was telling like I was like calling, I was trying to call my mom and she's teaching, and so I
Freaking
called
out,
my
probably.
granddad to let him know that I'm okay. There's nothing
Right.
wrong, and then like
They're
so many
probably
other
freaking out,
buddies
right?
in Louisville were like, I'm praying for WKU students. Like no one died. It was a big blow up of nothing.
So yeah, my so I don't know if it was the same when you were a freshman, but before being like you would put like your preferences on what dorm you wanted to live in. And I did not, and I will repeat, did not put PFT. Not because I knew anything about it, because I didn't, but I was like, I don't want to live in a 27-story dorm room. Dorm, like I don't think that's going to be a good thing, right? However,
By the way,
I
throw
got
the one, everybody.
I just I got put in there, and I was just like, we get put in, and the only white girl on our floor was my roommate. It was mostly blacks and Latinos, all of it who lived in PFT. And then I was like, was I racially profiled because my name is Sol Crisana? Did they put me in this dorm to be like, minorities, here you go? And I'm not shitting you people. There is a Popeyes next to PFT. And if you go to WKU, it's no longer this way because they made it an all girls dorm my sophomore year, but my freshman year and beforehand, literally in front of it was literally all minorities. It was like the minorities area of the campus. They all sit in front of that thing in front of PFT. And then the line for Popeyes was always so long. So I would always go to the burger place because I wasn't going to stand in that line. I literally would have to get my Popeyes at like random ass hours of the day to not have to do a line because Popeyes is good, guys. But I was just like, y'all are racially profiling us. And I'm not sure I'm okay with this.
So I will say this. So before Popeyes been put in there, because Popeyes got put in there like my senior ish year, so it's 2011 when Popeyes got put in there.
Yeah.
But when Obama got elected, It was a party in front of PFT. So,
For sure.
so they
I
not
mean, I voted for Obama the second time because I was not eligible to vote the first time.
like I've seen the video, like because my one of my fraternity brothers like he
I put
videoed.
up Latinos for Obama on my side of the wall, and my roommate was just like, "Oh, I should put up whites for Romney," and I was like, "You don't have to,
No,
because that's self-explanatory."
no, Mitt,
Whites for
and like
Romney,
looking back at like Mitt was actually like a
right?
decent candidate, but
It was
he ran against like a unstoppable force. So
no, no. Mitt Romney is one of the good ones.
yeah, like he like
Yeah,
and like he never. And the one thing I like about Mitt is he's never stopped being who he is for
and I think
political
too
reasons.
he's because so many of our politicians like claim to be Christian, but then like aren't actually because they do not follow the gospel.
Rubio.
And right.
That hurt.
Where
I like him for like
I'm not a Mormon, but Mitt Romney is, and he actually follows his faith and like is a good, decent human being.
yeah. And
And
he
so like
doesn't.
he's a true Christian. He's so and in that sense to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, like you are actually a man of your word and your faith, and I can respect that.
But
Whereas like
you weren't stopping Obama. You weren't
yeah,
stopping. You weren't stopping. Unfortunately, you're ain't no way he's going to like if
yeah.
he ran today. Yeah, Mitt Romney. Well, actually, I don't know
I
because
mean, I voted for Obama in Tennessee because I was legally
yeah,
registered in Tennessee. So I was like, this doesn't mean anything, but I voted for Hillary Clinton in Tennessee too. So I was like, this don't mean shit, but I'm doing it anyways.
but no. But when 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 Obama won, he ran against McCain, and
Yeah.
McCain was not ready. And then
Can we talk about like the two decent Republicans who stayed decent through the Trump era? Rest in peace, McCain, was the two people that went against Obama.
yeah, I know, right? Still Mitt Romney and McCain.
Yeah.
And still to this day, like I remember Zach Braff like trying to make fun of McCain, and then he met him. He's like, "Fuck, he's a good dude. I hate it."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." Apparently, when you meet people that you disagree with, you end up finding a common ground, which is how we are, which is
I
how we
mean,
grow as a
yeah.
society.
When I lived in Bowling Green, a lot of my coworkers are Republican, and they were like, "You're the only Democrat I can talk to."
Mm-hmm. Just unfortunately, the people that dominate our social media are the dumb ones on the not the and not even both sides. The
Yeah,
just the crazy ones.
the ones that are, I think, yeah, it's definitely you have those like far right and far left that just like there's no reasoning to them at all. And then you have those that like fall for the trap that like are good meaning, but they fall for the propaganda or for the trap of what they're reading or what
Mm.
without ever looking at the other side or looking at things objectively. And so then they just repeat the rhetoric of whatever side they kind of fall more towards. She's like, no,
Did you watch the movie Long Shot with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron?
I started it. I never finished it.
So Seth Rogen has a best friend. Like it's typical rom
Yeah.
com trope of you have your best friend and she has her best friend and they fall in love. But she's Secretary of State at the time.
Yeah, no, I remember being to another one with like Seth Rogen ending up with another hot chick, to
Right.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, it made it sense for the fact that they made up together. But the whole point of
Yeah,
the situation is O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is Ice Cube's son, who's playing
yeah,
his best friend, and like they're going through the whole movie, and like Seth Rogen's just so righteous and just I understand where he's coming from. He's just like that's all bullshit, and like he's like trying. He's a writer and like
Yeah.
bringing up all the bullshit, and then um, she was like, "Hey, I want this bill." As far as like it's like a Green Deal type of thing, but like
Yeah.
not the Green Deal with what. Anyway, it's like a Green Deal type of thing. And
Okay.
then he goes, "All right, I got all people on board." And then at one point he goes, "We got to cut this." He goes, "No, we're not going to cut that. Bullshit." Like, because he knew her. He was her babysitter. Blah blah blah. Long story short, like he went through this whole thing. Seth Rogen's character, and then goes back to his buddy who was like, "Oh, He was like, "I don't understand." Blah, blah, blah. Republicans, and he goes, "I'm a Republican." He goes, "What?" It's like he's been his best friend his whole life. He goes, "Yeah, I'm a Republican and I like God. Like I'm a Christian. Like you don't understand that?" And he goes, "No." He was like, "Because you don't compromise. You don't try and see from other people's eyes." And that's a weird way of like, yeah, people
Yeah.
unfortunately don't like all they see is just one way and then you're done. It's
Yeah.
like hear them out as we have so and other
Yeah.
people of our community. Uh, hey, just hear us out. Yeah, we understand where you're coming from. We might disagree, but it's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, variety is the spice of life, right?
Yeah,
I think too. At the same time, you have people that are the all or nothing. You have the all or nothing, where it's just like this needs to happen, otherwise nothing can happen. Where like it's like no progress is a thing. And that frustrates me a lot. Be like, would you rather it be the same bullshit, or can we make things a little bit better, even though we don't get everything that we want? Could we do that, please?
yeah,
And that frustrates me. And then false equivalencies frustrate me. So like so that's something. So the previous one is something that frustrated me of people who are on the left, and then the false equivalency stuff frustrates me from people who are on the right. Of like this is the same exact thing as that, and it's just like no, it's not. They're two completely different things. And
right.
it's just like you can't equate them. They're both bad, but one is way worse than the other. So you cannot equate the two things. And
Yeah,
it's just like it's happen, and both sides try to do that to like one up each other. And it's like just stop it. I want to
it
just be
just
like stop it. Smack smack.
like so it just sucks, and we can agree with this. It just sucks that there's no middle left or middle right parties anymore. It's either
No.
you're all the way this way or all the way that way, or it
Yeah.
doesn't work. And I'm like, how are you supposed to coexist as a two-party system? Then that point, I'd rather just be an independent and just we're gonna prop up our independence, and I would just get all the millennials, uh, or your generation. So are you a
I'm a
millennial?
millennial.
I'd say like you're a millennial.
Yeah,
Like
I'm a
we just all
millennial.
millennials be like,
My little brother is Gen Z. I'm millennial.
okay, so we can go to TikTok generation, too. It's like, hey,
I don't
guess
have a
what? We
TikTok.
might all not understand each other, but we're not going to be far this way or far that way because it's not going to put us in a good situation.
Yeah. It it's just and it's I think you're seeing that a lot on like especially with the after the Trump era, or we could still be in the Trump era depending on how this next election goes. Um, but you look at the Democrat Party and it's so diverse now because you have those people that are on the far left, and then you have the people who I used to be a Republican, but the Republicans have gone MAGA. And so I'm now going to be a Democrat, even though I don't think they're great either, but I got to pick one or the other. So lesser of two evils is what they say. So it's so funny to see like such a wide berth of people in one party. And it makes you think, Maybe some other countries do it better by having multi-party systems.
I mean, we had three-party systems at one point. We did,
Yeah.
and we got rid of the Whig Party. But I think it was
And that has been our politics talk on this World Baseball Classic.
right. In the first pitch by Diaz, by his 15th pitch.
I love the announcers are like, got a clean inning? Let's go.
Right. So can you tell me about this batter up the bat?
Williams? Let's see where he from.
He's ninth in rotation, so
yeah. Let me see something. Score. Okay, they haven't updated it. Not Williams, Mullins.
Mullins.
Yeah, Mullins.
Sorry, I tried to watch the back of Jersey. Thompson went to Tim Anderson. I'm sorry.
Mullins plays for Baltimore.
Tim Anderson plays for the White Sox. He played shortstop. Now he's playing second base.
You know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do.
What did
Look at that.
Well, that's there you go, girl.
Actually, now I can't see the actual game.
No, I can see the actual game on my second screen.
Yeah, no. I need to I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So now I just can't
words.
Now I can't see you.
Oh, there you go. He popped out that way.
Well, yeah, so we get.
Go ahead.
We are at the bottom of the fifth. So if it stands, oh wait, no, lie, mentira. If we can get 4 hits this inning, we can end the inning. So
what's the mercy rule?
The mercy rule is you have to be up by 15 by the 5th inning or up by 10 by the 7th.
Up by 10. Okay, so we can go 2 more innings. And how's that help him with points if we can mercy rule him right now?
I mean, it's just good because we're winning by 15 runs.
So it's not like
and like the announcer said too,
it doesn't add to your total.
No, because it's just a win is a win, a loss is a loss. It just adds to it adds, like, if you have to do a tiebreaker by runs. Why are you showing that flag, America? They're talking about Great Britain now. They're like, where's not their most popular sport? Cricket, soccer. It's funny that they went to cricket first. I would say soccer is their most popular sport. That is funny though, that like you have where they were saying, where Boggs said that they like made fun of, when he was younger, made fun of kids who played baseball. They play fucking cricket in the UK and they're making fun of people who play baseball. That's lame as all hell. I love the organ at the games.
Paul Goldschmidt hit.
Let's see. Where's this D?
I think it's Mookie. Oh yeah. Don't give him. Oh bullshit. All right, fine. I'll deal with that.
Okay, can we rally so we can end this game?
Exactly.
Put your rally caps on.
Freaking Mookie. Oh, I didn't think. Oh, he did though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. He
I
knew
think
it.
baseball too is the only sport where you can just wear like a full-on chain or multiple chains, like just around your neck.
Yeah. I mean, NFL does it. So, and NBA is the only one you can't because you're just running all the time.
Yeah. But they're like,
NFL,
oh,
you can do it.
like I'm gonna just be blinged out. So I watched the first 2 seasons of The Masked Singer. I haven't watched it in a while. I don't know what season they are on. I hear it's even crazier. Have you watched The Masked Singer before?
No, I just know the first winner.
Speaking of soccer, they're talking about the CONCACAF Champions League.
Huh. That's a one time that USA beat Spain in the CONCACAF. I believe. Oh, they beat them in some capacity.
CONCACAF is the
I'm aware. As soon as I said that,
Confederation
I was like, no,
of North America, Central
it's
America, and the
Africa
Caribbean.
and the Caribbean. I'm aware of
Is
what CONCACAF.
Spain in North America, Central America,
No,
or
it's
the
not.
Caribbean?
And as soon as I said that, I was like, yeah, that's not right. I forget what cup we beat them in, or something. It was a weird cup. When I was in college, I was back in like 2008 or something like that. By the way, so who's your favorite baseball player of all time?
Ooh.
Mine is Chipper Jones, just so anyone knows.
Chipper is a good one.
Because like I said,
I'd have to think
I grew
on
up
that.
as my uncle lived in Atlanta when I realized and Chipper Jones has been. He's Chipper Jones, so that's it.
Is it a cop out if I say Big Papi?
No,
I'll say Big Papi. Although, also I love Jason Varitek as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Big Papi.
I mean, yeah.
He was in that the Wicked Smart
Yeah.
Smart Pack. And then like at the end he's like Wicked Smart, but in his Dominican accent.
He also got shot and lived, which makes no sense to me why someone would shoot Big Papi. But
because they hate life.
Apparently. That makes no sense.
Or they didn't know who he was. Yo, he was like, you want to play some golf? Let me throw it right at your feet. Even even here they have it in the dirt. On the second pitch, look at the photo.
Yeah, probably like my favorite baseball players are probably goes Chipper, Maddox, Brandon Phillips, and then
not a favorite,
probably
but we have his signature. He's not a favorite player, but we have Dan Uggla's signature because he used to play for the Marlins and then he played for I think the Braves is when we got his signature because we were in Atlanta because my older brother's a Braves fan, and we actually like for the longest time because I've never been obviously to the original Atlanta Braves field, but went to Turner Field, and you parked where the old field used to be. So like you had the Hank Aaron, like where he broke the record, like they kept that part of the thing there in the parking lot. And when they were like, we're gonna move the stadium, I was like, why are you doing that? That's so stupid. But I've been to the new stadium and it's really, really nice.
My dad was the old stadium. He went on the field to watch batting practice. I'm like, how'd you get there? He goes, I don't know. Someone just told me like follow us, and we went down on the field. So okay.
Nice.
I mean, I like when Dion was coming back in baseball when he played for the Bats for Louisville. Like I saw him play,
Mm.
which he's the best athlete I've ever seen play. Because I saw him play as an NFL player. I saw him play as a
Mhm.
baseball player. That's the best athlete I've ever seen. Um, but doesn't take away from the fact that my favorite NFL player is Emmitt Smith. Um, I don't think he's the best like player I've ever seen
And
because
then shout out to just on coaches slash managers, Bobby Cox for Atlanta.
Bobby Cox is one of the to me he's
He's one of the best managers,
um,
coaches.
I would
To
always like
to
say
me, just because
I'm
I
saying
think,
he's
and
number
that's
one.
the
I'm saying
nostalgia.
he's number one, but I know they're like
He's not number one.
no.
He's not number one,
In my heart, he is.
but just too because of how good of a man he is and the nostalgia of it. Because
Yeah.
I will tell you, like, I'm not a Braves fan. However, I do have a lot of love for the Braves because of my older brother being a Braves fan and then like living in Tennessee, we would and having family that lived in Atlanta, we would go to Atlanta all the time. And we would go to Turner Field all the time. We go to Turner Field and then we also go to Six Flags. So,
It's kind of crazy. Like you became a Braves fan because you came to Bowling Green, and then I became a
did,
Reds fan because I came to Bowling Green, and all my fraternity brothers love the Reds.
no, well, not Bowling Green because I came to Franklin, Tennessee. And it's not,
Well, close
yeah.
enough.
And I would say they're kind of like they're like a backup team. I want them to do well, but if they're playing the Red Sox, I want the Red Sox to win.
How'd you become a Red Sox fan?
I'm a Red
Big
Sox fan
Bobby?
because my dad's a Red Sox fan.
Okay.
I'm a Red Sox and I'm a Red Sox fan because my dad, he grew up in Little Havana outside of where Marlin Stadium is now. And when he was growing up back in the day, all the Cuban coaches and Cuban players, when they played in Miami,
You tapped your mic.
they would hang out in the community afterwards and they would just all the Cuban players and coaches. And so one of the coaches for the Boston Red Sox was just, sitting outside after a game on the porch with my grandfather and several other Cuban men just shooting the shit, drinking, smoking Cuban cigars, all that stuff. And my dad goes out there just kind of just listening to their stories, right? And the guy gives my dad a Red Sox jersey. And from
Oh
that
wow.
point on, he's a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So, and then I have friends who are down here are Red Sox fans because of like just trades of like Marlins players who went to the Red Sox. So like my friend Natalie is a Red Sox fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan because I don't like the Yankees. That's the only reason. Like if the Red Sox lose the next day, I don't care. But
Yeah.
I'll keep
I
up with.
mean, I'm with you for the hate. I don't know why this ad is now in the middle, but hopefully we don't get but yeah. Yankee hate. I'm always good with Yankee hate. They're the
Yeah, just
worst.
because
I mean, that's another reason why we can't take Sean Barreto's thoughts on the
but we
game
love him.
seriously. We love him anyways.
We love him
We
anyway.
love him
I
despite
do have
his
a Yankee based portrait in my home though. Not because it was made by somebody that was endeared to me, and they just made it when I was 4.
I think
Okay.
you were wise to put that away while I was at your house.
Mm-mm.
No, did you give it out?
You saw it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah,
up. It's right. It's over there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
think
remember when
think I
Sean
think
came into my
yeah,
apartment?
Sean. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
goes, "Oh yeah,
I think I blocked it out of my memory.
yeah," because he came in and goes, "Oh, you got a Yankee here," and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that." Like
You're like, I actually hate the Yankees, but
yeah, like I don't. I like the Red Sox because I don't like the Yankees.
yeah,
Just because I mean, it's the same reason why, like when I tell people I'm a Cowboys fan, like, oh, I hate the Cowboys. I'm like, I understand
yeah. I
because
mean, I joke with I'm a I joke that I'm a Florida Marlins fan, not a Miami Marlins fan. And it's all and quite honestly, I haven't really followed the Marlins at all after what's his face, Derek Jeter, like just ruined the team. So I was like, I'm such a fair weather fan when it comes to the Marlins. I'm not when it comes to the Red Sox. Like when they're bad, which they were last year, I'm still the Red Sox fan.
yeah,
And that's just see with the Heat, I'm not fair weather. With the Red Sox, I'm not fair weather. But with the Marlins and with the Miami Dolphins, I'm 100% fair weather.
to me right now, as far as going to the year, the Padres are trying their hardest to win this series. I don't know if they will, but they have a very good hitting staff. I don't think they have the bullpen to win it.
Mm.
Neither do the
Hey,
Mets.
you need a good if you're gonna win a World Series, you need a good bullpen.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good bullpen,
Uh, the Yankees don't. This is outside looking in. Like I don't know enough about baseball, but I'm just looking at hitters right now. The Yankees don't. The Yankees are close, but they're not. They were close last year, and they got swept by Houston.
yeah. If we would have won that series that they cheated, then we would have won the World Series. Be like, you still had to play Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Houston was the team last year. Like I saw that from.
No, but with the year that with the cheating scandal, I think that's 2017, right? The Yankee fans, and Sean Barreto being one of them, is always going on about how if
Houston.
if Houston didn't cheat, we would have won the World Series that year. And I'm like, you're forgetting about the Dodgers. You're like, well, Houston beat the Dodgers. I'm like, but they cheated, so.
But they cheated, so
Yeah, you have
going to
no
beat
idea.
Kershaw. Kershaw was on one that year.
Yeah, you have no idea. You could have won the World Series.
It's
You
possible.
have no idea if you would have beaten the Dodgers or not. You're completely missing another team. It wasn't like you were in which couldn't happen because is impossible to happen. But it's not like it's like, oh, this is the World Series matchup and they beat you. And it's funny, it's like they're more pissed about it.
Hold on. Not to cut you off. We're in the top of the 6th. I thought you said if you're up by 10 runs at the top.
That's for the 7th.
Okay,
You
never
have to
mind.
be up by 15.
I don't know why I just cut you off. Go ahead.
And it's funny because like Dodger fans have every right to be pissed off, and they're not. Maybe because they've won more recently. But Dodger fans are not pissed off about losing that World Series at the extent that Yankee fans are, and it cracks me up because like y'all don't know if you would have won or not.
You've won
Like, you have no way.
27 titles. It just kills me how people are, Like the New York Yankees are like so just hell bent on winning every single World Series that if they don't win it, they're like, this season sucks. And I'm like, dude, you've won 27.
Like
As a
no
Dallas
one's ever
fan, I
gonna beat
understand
your
your pain.
record.
Like once you feel that feeling of winning, it sucks. Oh,
Double
hit the double
play.
play.
Oh
Damn
nope,
it.
safe.
But it just sucks so bad when. So I understand, like as a Dallas fan who hasn't won a title in almost 30 years, it's been 1995, even since we went to NFC Championship. But yeah, the Yankees are just deprived.
Let's see. When's the last time the Yankees won? 2009.
Yep.
Like you guys are fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to ever win again.
When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys have won a Super Bowl? Or even, oh, well, I'll put it that way. When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl? Or won the
Let's
Super
look.
Bowl? 1994, right? Or 95?
Let's look. Mm. Scrolling, still scrolling. 1994. Oh wait,
Okay.
nope. 96.
96. They haven't been to an NFC championship since. But yet they get the most hate next to the New England Patriots because our owner loves to prop up our team and they talk about us all the fucking time. But 5 championships are fun. So, just
But
to know,
yeah.
so in our my past this last week's trivia, they did ask who was the last undefeated football team.
Mm-hmm.
What year was it?
72, right?
Yeah, just making sure.
I mean, I said I'm a fair weather fan, but I'm still a
Yeah.
fan. I mean, I was totally alive for the. I'm actually look really good for my age.
Me too. If I shaved, I'd be I don't know 26.
I mean, I think you know how old I am, but how old? Like, if you didn't, and how old would you guess?
I mean, me, I'd say
Yeah,
like
for
25.
and I'm 29.
I mean,
People always guess younger than what I actually am.
yeah,
I have a baby face, apparently.
you do. It's also depending who you talk to, but to me, as a almost 36-year-old, but you should take that and run with it, girl.
It's whenever they put like these commercials here, like it's with the full sound on, and I was like, ugh.
All right, since commercial, I will. Should we take a break?
I mean, if you want to.
Sure.
I wonder if we took out if it would still show. All right, we're back in.
So is Team USA doing what they're supposed to do?
Yeah. They are. Let's see how much they can get here. How would you pronounce that Canadian last name? Lowen?
Yeah, pretty much. Lowen.
Lowen?
I mean, Louisman? No, doesn't make sense. Or Tucker, but
Let's see.
that was right on the pipe, Tucker.
Let's see who if he plays for. Oh, look at that!
Oh, who does Tucker play for?
He plays for the Texans. Oh no, not Tucker. Lowen.
He's third in rotation.
Tucker. Let's see. Does it? Tucker plays for Houston.
Cal Tucker. Oh yeah, Cal Tucker. Okay. Go through the rotation, other than Mike Trout and like the Mookie Betts of the world.
So you got Goldsmith.
He plays for St. Louis.
St. Louis. You got Arenado. Yeah, St. Louis as well. The Cuban American. Tim Anderson, White Sox.
Set up.
Realmuto. Phillies.
Sorry. Yeah, Phillies. Padres. Dumbass.
Phillies. Mullen. Orioles. Yeah.
Do you know other American players that you would?
What?
Do you know what other American players you would put in this lineup?
Well, Lynn, who started, plays for the White Sox. Let's see. St. Louis. And the bench, let's look. Alonso, Pete Alonso for the Mets. Kyle Higashioka. Boo. Mets.
I know Jeff McNeil for sure.
Schwarber. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber. Phillies. Will Smith.
Hey, little guy.
Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals. Look at our bullpen.
I mean, who else would you have wanted batting? That's an American that, and they're like you, Aaron Judge, right? Didn't play.
Judge is retired now, no?
Aaron Judge? No.
I mean, no. He's not. I was thinking someone else in my head.
Aaron Judge just almost.
I know. I know. I saw him. I literally saw him play in Toronto too, like for the Yankees and break the record there in Toronto. I was literally. My mind thought. My mind. I was saying Aaron Judge, but my mind was still thinking the other Yankee that's retired. Anyways.
So Aaron Judge.
Yeah, no, my mind was thinking Derek Jeter.
I understand.
But my mouth said Aaron Judge. Yeah, no. I mean, sure. Do we really need more Yankees? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Aaron Judge.
Do we not need Aaron Judge?
I think we're doing fine. We're winning 12-1.
Yeah, we're barely hanging on to our stable.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're good.
Would you not want Aaron Judge? You just don't want a Yankee, do you?
No, no, it's fine. Aaron Judge, sure. Uh,
Dude,
I
Tim
did not.
Anderson,
Where's?
he's been 2 for 3 for this. Oh, like 2 for 2, like 3 for 3 in this game.
I need to know where. Let me go over here. Where's Freddie Freeman born?
Saskatchewan.
Villa Park, California.
He's Canadian.
Probably has a Canadian parent.
Probably.
Let's see. How is he?
I think that he became Canadian just because the Braves made him going to be a Dodger.
Both of Freeman's parents are from Ontario, Canada. His mother
Alonso's
was from Peterborough, while his father's from Windsor.
Come on, Alonso.
Because Freeman's parents were both born in Canada, Freeman holds Canadian citizenship in addition to American. And then I wonder if they might not say it here. Oh, damn. So yeah. He's a American that plays for Canada.
Crap.
Because he would not have made the UST.
Nope. Where does Pete Alonso? Where's he? Shit, I know Pete Alonso. Is he a Met?
Already.
No, he's got to be a Houston Texan.
Oh yeah, here we go. No.
Yeah, it's Met. Okay.
Met, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Met. Okay.
Born in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah. He's Met. No. I just wish you would hit one. Oh.
So Pete Alonso, father, is a Spaniard.
Really?
Yes. That's why he has the last name Alonso, but is still white.
Oh, he just like a Met, he struck out.
I mean, technically, Pete Alonso, by that, he makes the U.S. team, but if he didn't, he could have played for Spain, which did not qualify. You know, like those weird sports that are in the Olympics sometimes, and that like you're pretty much going, how do you like learn about that sport and decide I'm gonna play that sport, and then like hone your craft on that sport and make a bunch of money off of just playing that random ass sport that no one else has heard of until the Olympics comes around. You're like, oh yeah, that is a thing.
It's weird.
Well, because of this, I now know over here, I now know when we're going to commercial. Because this is ahead of my broadcast.
So, of the baseball players that are here now, are you like, what's your favorite Red Sox right now?
I mean, is it
Not the
if I
favorite.
say former Red Sox Mookie Betts?
No. I want your favorite Red Sox.
Can I say former Red Sox Mookie Betts? I'm gonna go with former Red Sox Mookie Betts.
He
Hey,
had been a
once you're
Red
a Red
Sox in
Sox,
like
you're a
4
Red Sox
years.
for life. Once you're a Red Sox, you're a Red Sox for life.
Yeah.
He, especially too, if you win a championship, like if you win with us, if
Is
you
it
win the
your
World
favorite?
Series with us, you're still a Red Sox.
I mean, my favorite Red is Brandon Phillips, but he's not with the team anymore.
Yeah, so then he still counts.
Well, I mean, it became, I guess, Joey Votto, but he's not with the team anymore. It was going to be Castellanos, but then he went to the Phillies.
Let's see here. Saying defensive substitutions. Jeff McNeil replaces left fielder. Nah. Has it. Bobby Witt Jr. replaces third baseman Nolan Arenado. Batting fourth. Playing third base. Kyle Higashioka replaces first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Batting third. Playing catcher. Pete Alonso remains in the game at first base. Jeff McNeil replaces right fielder Mookie Betts. So Mookie's out. Switch from left field to right field for Kyle Tucker. Jeff McNeil replaces left fielder Kyle Tucker, batting fifth, playing left field. And yeah, it says it's the same thing. Pete Alonso, in case you didn't see Pete Alonso remaining in the game here, Pete Alonso remains in the game.
Because the Mets suck. That's all I can take from that is the Mets suck.
I don't think the Mets are the ones running MLB .com/gameday/Canada -verse-United-States.
Oh, wow. Good pitch.
Struck out swinging.
Who's your favorite pitcher of all time? Put that way.
That's hard.
It's not hard for me. I saw him live, but still.
Who's yours?
Greg Maddux. Saw him live. He pitched. What's it called for? There's no outs. Not a like no hitter or a perfect game, but it's a 0 outs or 0 runs. What's it called?
No hitter.
It's not a no hitter. Someone. Anyway, that's what he did. So go ahead. A no hitter is when they don't have any hits.
Yeah.
Or in the perfect game is where there's no walks.
No walks. Yeah.
But there's it's a shutout. Shutout. That's what it is.
Shutout.
A shutout is whether there's a hit, but there's no runs. So it's a shutout.
Yeah.
So there's a perfect game, no hitter, and a shutout.
Yeah.
I
was like, no runs, they don't score.
I've seen a perfect game twice on TV. Randy Johnson against the Braves, and Brady, whatever his name is, when he was with the A's.
How do you think these umpires are?
Hopefully they're like 42.
They are way older than 42.
Probably.
That man is at least in his 60s behind the plate.
No, they're in their 40s because no 60-year-old can do that on a consistent basis physically.
I mean, he's not in his 40s. I would take it down to 50s.
I can understand, but
50, that man is not in his 40s.
In his 30s, because if he's in the 30s, he'd be be above
But
the
yeah,
umpire.
he no way is he in his 40s. No way.
No way. He'd be in late 40s.
He is 58. Probably.
Sure.
Let's
You,
see.
you didn't answer my question though. Who's your favorite pitcher?
It's hard. I don't know. Let's see. Oldest umpire in baseball.
So at the end of this ending, we're good for another.
He's he's not working in it. I was gonna be like, is he still? Bruce Fromming, born in 1939. The last year active was 2007. So let's see. Get the calculator out. He was 68 when he retired. So a 60-year-old can do that.
I didn't know that. So if we are we good after this inning?
Yeah. Look at those outfits.
Right. You know that'd be us. And there it is.
There we go.
USA, 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 USA.
We need a
Twelve to
Tushka.
one.
We need a Tushka to make a graphic
I
that
know,
has
right?
just like a waving flag. But yeah, we won.
Yeah,
Are they not shake? Are they not going to shake Canada's hand? They're just going to shake each other's.
I mean, most baseball teams never shake the other person's hand. So
I know, but this is a tournament of countries, so
you would think.
yeah.
But we got Aaron Judge, the only one that I was like surprised that we didn't have.
It's very possible. The thing too is, it's not only it's not only like asking people to play; they have to accept it too. So he could have been like, "No, I'm good. I have a vacation with my family."
The top three, I mean, you have Mike Judge, which is
yeah,
like, to me is the Michael Jordan of baseball right
you
now.
mean Mike Trout?
Oh, sorry, I
Mike
combined
Judge.
Aaron Judge and Mike Trout. So Mike Trout is the Michael Jordan of baseball right now, as far as fielding, not my pitching. And the Mookie Betts, hell yeah. Of this team, Soul, who would you have loved to see?
I like, last year the only baseball game that I saw because of these rules was the game that I saw live in Toronto. So for me, my answer, who he played. So the one that I like the most here is Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
Good old Mookie. Hey, he won us a ring.
Mookie Betts won two organizations rings, so you're not wrong, because he won.
He has a
not only
ring as a Red Sox and a ring as a Dodger. Like,
yeah,
and he went, and even though he left us, he went to a team that I don't hate. So it's
No.
not like he went to the Yankees.
and the Dodgers paid a shit ton of money to get to Mookie
Yeah,
Betts.
because they have that money.
So
But yeah. So let's see. Not standings. It still. Why you no update the standing? Come on, MLB.com. Do better. And we should be top. Yeah, we should be top of Pool C. No.
I said that, and you're like, I don't know.
I don't.
Mike Trout's like, hyping us up right now.
Oh, I turned it off. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Tomorrow's games got Nicaragua versus Venezuela, Canada versus Colombia, Israel versus República Dominicana, and Great Britain versus Mexico. So our next game is versus Colombia on 10 p.m. on Wednesday. You'll be playing. Are you playing the same game? You're playing Ember Knights?
Wednesday?
Yeah.
No.
You give a little preview for what you're playing Wednesday.
No, we're not. We're probably gonna be playing Tina's because the four of us got to the point of Ember Knights that we don't want to do it anymore. There's two of us that love Tina's, so we're probably gonna play that. So join us for that. If you like Borderlands, then join us for that.
And there you go. I love how it's just like, give us a little preview of what you're playing Wednesday, and you're like, no, we're not.
No, wait, I can do that.
Which I was like, that's not answering my question.
We're not gonna play.
I wasn't saying you're playing Ember Knights. I said, tell us what you're playing. Give us a little preview, and you answered, no, we're not. That's what cracked me up.
Oh, I want to be true. So
I know.
I mean, if we play Ember Knights, we could. But we're still going to be playing some games, and so everyone should.
Yeah, come join us on Wednesday. We're going to be live on Twitch and on YouTube. It's our non-sports thing that we do. And are there any NCAA games that we're going to be watching on here? Or
on Thursday? To? Hell yeah. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but I'll be watching all the NCAA games. It's the best time of the year, but
March Madness.
But I would exactly. But I will still be playing my Ember Knights or whatever it is. I'll be playing my game.
There you go. Yeah, so keep checking out. We're doing stuff here and got some fun stuff coming down the pipeline. So keep checking out. Any final words, Josh?
Thank you for having me. And
I didn't have you. It's Rev Sports. You're a part owner.
Still, I want to put that out there. For
I love you, Josh.
God damn it! So let me just do what I need to do. Thank you for having me for this baseball time because I am not very good at baseball. But I know
you know
enough.
Some stuff.
I know some stuff.
Yeah.
And so Thank you for having me.
You know players. You know who Mike Trout is. You know who Mookie
You know
Betts is.
my trot is.
Yeah. So you have some knowledge there. Just like give yourself a little bit more pat on the back. It's more than your soccer knowledge, but you do also have some soccer knowledge in you that you don't give yourself enough credit. But I've been
Yeah.
so
So anything with Rev Sports, we're a very broad conglomerate of sports. So
mhm,
if you want to talk to us about football, baseball, basketball, we're there for you. Um,
mhm.
so I love what I do and love that I can contribute to with my knowledge, much less just hanging out with these people of their knowledge of the other sports, but mainly, yes, we want to do with the big five with hockey. Yes, I'm starting from the bottom and go with the top. Hockey,
Started from the bottom, now we here.
yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna say baseball was the second bottom. I know. So likes
Sorry,
doesn't like
sorry.
that.
Okay. In the United States of America, baseball is still ahead of soccer. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so
Okay. Although MLB is doing its damnedest to ruin the game. Anyways, I have been Soul. This is Josh.
yes, and we like sports.
We like sports. And this has been ESPN 8 The Ocho. If it's almost a sport, we've got it. And we'll see you next
And
time.
we're going to cover it for you lovely people.
Bye.